Hello, cadets. Welcome to another episode of General Howitzer's Big Monster Briefing Room. I'm General Lemuel T. Howitzer, retired, and with me on this show is my able-bodied assistant, Major Millie Hazzard. There she is. Welcome, Major. She is a scientist, so if you have any science questions for us, when we get live people talking to us, please address them to Major Hazzard.
Thank you, General. Thank you so much. And I just want to say we're here to educate the public. It's a part of our civic duty. It's a part of our patriotic duty. So we want to welcome all the cadets who are here. A lot of cadets are really learning a lot from this, General. I'm getting a lot of positive feedback that we are ever more prepared for situations that could be coming up, which we discussed in these training fields.
Very good. That's why we're here. To help you try to figure out, what to do in case of running into a big monster. MM is here. Welcome. Facebook user, always good to have you here. Whoever the hell
we
you
love
are.
Our Facebook users. We invite all of you to please come, and you can always say your name. If it says Facebook user, you can always preface your comment with your name. So thank you very much for being here. You all are welcome.
I always feel like I don't trust people who just say Facebook user. Like they're going to take a slap at me anonymously.
No, I don't think so. No, don't be paranoid. That's because you were on the battlefield. I know you're battle tested. I know you're battle abused. We thank you for your service.
I'm a little shell-shocked.
But you're a little shell-shocked. I understand a little PTSD. It's a very real situation, but it's okay, General. You're among friends.
Got some of that Mothra powder on me. Worse than
Do you have
Agent
your
Orange.
peach tea? Do you have your peach tea, or is it orange tea this time?
I was just water.
Orange tea.
Yeah,
okay.
Just water. Just kind of clean out the system. At my age, sometimes you got to drink water.
Are you going to be
you
regaling?
Can't just drink Coca-Cola and Mr. Pibb and all that crap all the time.
Are you going to be regaling the audience with your noises again, your general noises, like the peach tea? We had a different side of you with the peach tea. So I think that our crowd is just wondering if you're going to have any of those noises.
We'll see.
I think you almost had one right there. That was a very good effort.
See.
I heard a little something.
The training film for this week it's always so fun to watch you go up. The training film this week, it tickles me, is Monster Zero or Godzilla versus Monster Zero or Invasion of the Astro-Monster. Okay,
or as I like to call it, Monster. Monster. That's how we say it up in Yonkers. We say Monster.
No. That was one that had what's her face, the Australian actress in it, playing the killer. Warnoffs. That's a different movie.
That's a different movie, General. Keep it on topic.
Oh my God, we should do that one.
We need to do that.
What do you do when you get a crazy serial killing woman in your apartment? We should do that on a double feature with the Glenn Close thing, with the bunny rabbit.
A double feature would be great. Did you ever see Serial Mom? Did you ever see Serial Mom?
I've heard of it.
Oh, if anyone hasn't seen Serial Mom, trust me. If you're over the age 18, you want to watch Serial Mom. It's a very good training film about serial killers. We might want to watch it sometime.
It's possible.
I don't think we're ready
monster,
yet.
But it's possible.
There's parts of her that are monstrous, to be honest with you.
If you run out of giant monster movies like kaiju movies, and there's a lot of them.
This is for like season 7.
Season 6
season 7, season 8. This is when we jump the shark, we jump the shark.
Maybe.
Nobody has any time for us anymore that we could do
Maybe we could do a Kathleen Turner film.
I'm looking forward to it, General. We got to get in our time machine and go
You
to
know,
season 7.
surprisingly, I am too.
I could see you're very excitable. Don't you think that the General looks very
Well,
excitable?
it is a good day for me because it's St. Patty's Day.
Happy
And as
St.
you know,
Patrick's
I always
Day,
wear green.
everybody. Yes,
So-
you're always wearing green. I should have gotten my green glasses. I
Are
don't
you
have
wearing
green
green?
glasses. I'm not wearing any green, and now I feel really bad about it. But trust
See
me,
now,
before
you
the
got to
day
pinch
is over,
yourself.
I
You have to
know.
pinch yourself for the audience.
For
Pinch
the
yourself real good.
leprechauns. The leprechauns. Oh, you know what we should do is we should do the leprechaun movies.
Yeah, that would have been a good idea for today, wouldn't it? But I already announced Monster Zero and Nick Adams, so I forgot it was going to be that St. Patty's Day was falling on the day of the actual training film.
I know. I didn't even know. I didn't think about it. I'll get something.
And again,
green before we're
he's
gone.
a monster of sorts, but not a big monster
No,
or a
definitely
big
not.
problem. I mean, you know, he's gone through like 6 or 7 movies. They've taken care of him at the end of each movie. So
Oh yeah, totally. I'll find
he's even
something
gone into
green.
space.
He's gone to space. He went to the hood. They have one called In the Hood.
They got 2 movies where he's in the hood.
2 movies when he's in
Yes.
the hood. Oh my gosh!
and
And it's
2.
In the Hood. I think it's actually In the Hood.
In the Hood.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think you're right. I think you're correct on that one.
Leprechaun. That's how I say it. Leprechaun.
So the real charm of this movie is the fact that they got Nick Adams, the rebel, to be in this training film. So that's pretty exciting. And
I'm
I
excited.
have a lot of
I
notes
can barely contain myself. It is. It's
Also,
exciting.
one of the best, greatest military marches to come out of Japan in this movie. I'm gonna play
One
a
of
little
the
bit for
best.
you.
One of the best. Not the
Yes.
best. I like how
Not
there's
the best,
multiple ones. There's
But one of the
multiple
best.
ones.
It's in the
yeah.
top 5 in my book.
At least the
Okay,
top
by
5.
Akira Ifukube. All right, and I'm going to
Can
play
you
a little
say-
bit of it for you right here. Okay?
Gesundheit. Gesundheit.
I won't play too much because I don't want YouTube to go freaky wiggy on us.
That's a
So
that's a
somebody
Dennis
said
Gordon.
wiggy on their show the other day, and I flipped out because I was like, "Hey, wait a minute, that's our word."
I want to tell you the Dennis Tordon joke. Say the name of the composer again.
Akira Ifukube.
Gesundheit.
Okay.
That's
Well,
Dennis. I
here's a
blame it
piece
on
of-
Dennis
of-
Tordon. That's not my joke.
Why are we talking about him on this show?
Because why wouldn't we? You know, it's a wonderful thing. Hello. Okay.
He's not a monster, is he?
No, of course not. No, he's very lovable. We don't call
He's
him.
a likable guy.
Of course. Yeah, much like yourself.
Just like Jay Link. You know, there's no reason for us to talk about Jay Link on the show.
Oh,
He's a
there's
great
always
guy. He's a
reason.
likable guy.
I feel like there's always a reason to talk
monster at all.
about Dennis Tordon, and there's always a reason to talk about Jay Link. I hope that somebody could tag Jay Link and he'll come in this show. That would be wonderful. Sandy's
I'm
here.
pointing.
She said love yous. Hi, Sandy D. She's here. Cadet.
Love yous
Cadets-
too.
Yes, we love yous.
we were on the
That's how
show
we
last
say it.
week.
That's
was
how we
very
say it
nice.
in New York. Oh, Sandy D is wonderful. And you know,
Okay.
Drita's show is coming up after this. I
We
want
were
to tell
on
everyone.
Drita's show. I'm
7
sorry.
p.m. on the East Coast. You're going to want to hang out with Drita and friends. She's coming up, and Tom Cheshire is going to be the guest.
Oh, wow.
And Jamie Bennett's
good.
going to be there. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be beautiful.
Okay.
Let's talk. We'll have coffee talk. Yes, that's right,
All
Sandy.
right, yes.
That's the
We're
proper
doing
way.
a lot of commercials here.
We're doing a lot of
You know,
commercials.
they're going to tune out. They want monsters. They
That's
want to hear
right.
this theme that I keep saying I'm going to play.
That's right. And we also want to say Clayton James Hicks is in the audience. Thank you for tagging. He's tagging. He's helping to produce everything.
Thank you for tagging.
Clayton. Thank you so much.
All right. So here's the theme. This is the Monster Zero March, it's called. Okay, I can't play too much of that because YouTube will get weird on us.
I love that song, and I couldn't stop. I couldn't help but smile. I also want to say the real McCoy is here. Thank you, Cadet McCoy, for showing up for
Thank you.
reporting to
Yes.
duty. Thank you very much for being here.
We were just playing a little bit of
Gesundheit.
Akira Ifakubi. I hope I pronounced that correctly. His theme song for this movie, this training film, it's called The Monster Zero March. So look it up on YouTube. There's an updated version by Neil Hefty or somebody. That's actually pretty cool too. All right. So let's go to our timeline. Let's go ahead and do our timeline for the movie. Godzilla versus Monster Zero, a.k.a. Invasion of the Astro-Monster. There's Nick Adams right there. He's an astronaut named Glenn, and next to him is Fuji. They're astronauts who are manning the P-1 for Space Authority. Space Authority. Glenn and Fuji are on their way to Planet X in the beginning of the film. It's on the other side of Jupiter. Fuji's sister is Dr. Sakurai. Next slide is Dr. Sakurai. There he is in the middle. She's the one on the very far right. That's Fuji's sister. She's Sakurai's assistant. Her name is Hironi, and at the 5-minute mark, we meet her inventor boyfriend. His name is Tetsuo Terry, which sounds kind of like a Japanese stir-fry dish. Tetsuo Terry. I'll have the Tetsuo Terry with crab rangoon, please. Fuji thinks he's a loser, but he just sold a noise-making invention to a Miss Namikawa. There she is on the left, Miss Namikawa, played by Kumi Mizuno. Oh, yeah. And she has a toy company, or she works for a toy company, and she's bought his little gadget. Now, there's a lot of exposition character stuff going on in the beginning of this movie. We don't even see monsters in this movie until way into it. Glenn and Fuji land on Planet X, and they find out it's inhabited. Yeah. We meet the controller of Planet X. That's him sitting down in the middle. They're dressed like punk rockers.
They look a little like Devo. They look like 80s Devo
thing going, yeah.
You know, you must whip it.
Now, these guys give off a bad vibe from the very get-go. I'm sorry. You look at these guys and you're just like, I don't trust these guys. Like Hawking said, don't go looking for aliens. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Don't go looking for aliens.
Please stick to the earth.
I see a Weird Al Yankovic video coming out. Don't go looking for aliens. Hello, Joanne. Say happy St. Patty's Day. I'm wearing green, of course. He tells our astronauts that the planet has a monster named Zero. Okay? And we find out right away that Monster Zero is actually Ghidorah, King Ghidorah, from a movie in 1964, the year before this one was put out. This monster has destroyed the planet and forced the Exilians, I'm going to say this several times during the show, underground. It turns out to be King Ghidorah. Now, King Ghidorah is making a really great show of zapping useless planet. All right. Oh, we're way ahead of ourselves here now. So the controller asks to borrow Godzilla and Rodan to drive off Monster Zero, and he forgets to ask for Mothra, who also helped to drive away King Ghidorah in the last movie. I'm not sure why they decided not to go with Mothra again. It would make sense, but there it is. So just Godzilla and Rodan. That's all we need. So he offers to pay Earth with a miracle drug that will cure all disease. Ooh. Don't tell Big Pharma. And hey, if it sounds too good to be true, guess what, folks? All right, it's an alien trick. Of course, the world leaders are fished right in there. They're fished right in. They want it. So the Exilians have pinpointed where Godzilla and Rodan are, and they are already on Earth. When our guys come back, space saucers pop out of Lake Myogen where they said Godzilla is going to be, and the Exilians are already here. They're sitting there with rum drinks going, hey, where you guys been? We've been waiting. So it's their first double cross. That's it. Minute 36. The Exilians meet with the Japanese leaders on the beach. Here's the picture of it. Where the hell did that table come from? That's what I want to know. how quickly they got that table out there on the beach for these guys to meet at. Watch the movie. There's nobody with a table walking around anywhere. So at the meeting, the prime minister, the head of science, the head of space authority, the head of the military, they're putting all their eggs in one basket at this meeting. If these ex-aliens were really bad, they could have just shot everybody at the table. Okay, so I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done it that way. So Godzilla's pulled out of Lake Myojin with his tail literally between his legs. Here we have a picture of that. And Rodan is taken out of a mountain close by with high-tech lasers and an anti-gravity beam. Okay, these guys have all of this special technology, but they can't drive King Ghidorah away. Okay, what's wrong with this picture? All right. Me smells a rat with punk rock outfits on. Glenn is in trouble with Miss Namikawa. Yeah, there they are pulling Godzilla and Rodan out of their hiding places, and they've got these like force fields around them that they can actually transport them anywhere. So, but they can't drive King Ghidorah away. All right. So there's Glenn with Miss Namikawa. Yeah, they're an item in this movie. She's seeing Glenn, and she's talking marriage already. They just met. So wait till he finds out what her parents are like. As Ralph Cramden says in this next slide, and away we go.
We're going to hold on for a second while I
Okay.
queue up the next slides. So you have some
right.
some of the comments there. Just take
Bring
a second.
table to alien meetings. Yes, MM. Someone has to have a folding table under their arm if you're going to meet aliens on the beach.
That's correct. Okay,
That sounds like a name of a band, Aliens on the Beach.
I would love to see that, and they could dress like this. This could be how.
And they could dress in these punk rock outfits.
There you go. Of course. Here we go.
Okay, so away we go, as I said. The leader tells them that everything that they do is run by thought waves, which is amazing, but they still can't drive King Ghidorah off by themselves. So again, me smells a rat. So okay, so the three saucers take off for Planet X, traveling at 1/5 the speed of light, with Godzilla and Rodan in tow in their little force fields there. So Tetsuo Terry, meanwhile, back on Earth, Tetsuo Terry goes to Miss Namikawa's toy factory, which is on an island. It's actually the base for Miss Namikawa actually works for the Exilians, and that's their secret base. She's going to get chewed out by her alien boss, no doubt.
Hold on, these are the slides we have, General. Let me make sure we're on track here. We got Godzilla.
Yeah, Godzilla is still immobile. Come on, guys, we're ready for a fight here. This is 47 minutes, and we still don't have a fight. Okay, then at 47:40, the Big G and the Big Bird are finally cut loose. Luckily, they can breathe on Planet X. Evidently, these kaiju, they didn't even think about that, did they? Can these kaiju actually breathe on this planet's surface? I guess so. They don't seem to be having any problem. In 1956, let me do a little side note here. Rodan looked more like a pterodactyl, okay? But in these 60s training films, he looks more like a bird, like a mutant turkey. He's got a prominent beak, and thank you, Joanne. And let me show you something. This is the Bandai figure of Rodan from the 1956 film. And you can see his beak is kind of bird-like, but he looks more like a pterodactyl. Is that how you say it? Is the P silent, pterodactyl, or pterodactyl?
The P is definitely silent. You know,
okay,
ask the scientist. Thank you for asking the scientist. It's pterodactyl.
Yes. Okay, that's why I have you here, so you can correct me on these things. So I don't.
I
hope I'm saying Exilians right.
You are totally saying it right. Thank you.
Okay, so this is the one they never released. Bandai, which is the biggest company for kaiju toys, never released a Rodan figure for the 1960s Rodan. They never did. So this one is the 6-7-inch one you get. There's a large one I'll show you later when we talk about the merchandise that shows the 60s Rodan, but he's a large figure. He's a very big one. So, okay. So, Godzilla's atomic blue breath isn't effective against King Ghidorah's tough, scaly armor. Okay, that's just a note here that I thought I should point out. It just kind of bounces off. and that's bad for the big G, because that's one of his major weapons. Okay, but they end up driving off. King Ghidorah flies off into the Exilian sunset, and Godzilla does a little victory dance, a happy moment. And you actually can see that happy dance, that victory dance, which is kind of like the church lady's superior dance, in our opening credits for the show. It's on there every week. He goes, nah, nah, nah. Yeah. So a lot of people don't like that dance. They think it's kind of silly, but I kind of like it. Makes me happy. Watching the big G dance. It's kind of like an Irish jig, too. Somebody pointed out today. So Fuji and Glenn decide to go off sleuthing. Okay, this is a big breach of protocol here. Luckily, the elevator that they hopped into didn't take them to the planet's surface, where they probably can't breathe. That would have been messy. It's here that Glenn finds out that all Exilian girls look like Kumi Mizuno. Got no problem here. But I would imagine that would be pretty confusing. Clone girls. What do you think, Major? All the girls look exactly the same.
I think it would get a little bit of confusing, but maybe it's like triplets or twins. You just get to used to their personalities, and eventually you see the difference. It could be.
Well, but we're talking about the whole planet. We're talking about everybody has the same girlfriend.
Maybe they could wear numbers on their shirts or something. They could wear numbers.
Don't you think, like, for appointments, that would be kind of, like, anybody could show up late for an appointment and go, oh, yeah, I'm the next one.
It doesn't seem like a great idea, but,
Yeah, that's me.
To each his own.
That's me. Just tell the doctor I'm here. They all look like this. Every last one of them. So, the Exilians are okay when they find Glenn and Fuji. They tell them, hey, everything's okay, no problem. You broke the law, but hey, we're going to let you off. And then they put them in a recreation of the P1. They have recreated their spaceship to every little minute detail. They said, you'll even find out it's probably better than the one that you brought originally. Which is kind of a slap in the face, but... Anyway, and they were able to create it in just a few days. It's only been a few days since these guys were on the planet before. But they can build a weapon. They can't build a weapon to drive off King Ghidorah. Don't you believe it? Okay, so our heroes leave Godzilla and Rodan on Planet X. Nice. They don't look too happy about it. It's like when you go away and you haven't fed your cat. You forgot to feed your cat, and your cat looks at you like, hey, what? What? Why are you? What? No, don't go. Why are you leaving? Meanwhile, back on Earth, Tetsui is amazingly alive still. He's in a jail cell on the Exilian Island base. Still alive. Don't you think if these guys are as ruthless as we think they are, that, he'd have been killed? Anyway. Okay. So, the guys come back. They actually had the doctor with them this time, too, on the second trip to Planet X. When they come back, they play the tape that the aliens have given to them, the Exilians. And Miss Namikawa is there with a bunch of guys that look like, wow, would you trust any of these guys? They look really rough. They look, they look evil, basically. Yeah. So, anyway, when they play the tape, yeah, it's a double cross. Cue black and white montage of riots in the streets. It's a cookbook! It's a cookbook! Glenn meets up with Miss Namikawa, and she's dressed in her Exilian garb. And looks actually kind of sexy, too. Anyway, Nick Adams, badass line. Number one was double-crossing Finks. He was talking about the Exilian leader. Then, the Exilian guys show up, and they disintegrate Namikawa. And Glenn does his badass line number 2. And that is, you rat! You stinking rat! What did you do to her? That's my Nick Adams impersonation. Well, they disintegrated her. So relax, Glenn. A lot more where she came from. There's a lot of those Exilian girls out there. They'll fall in love with you too. 103, the saucers begin their attack. They blow up the P1 and melt a bitchin' satellite, which we just saw a minute ago. Ghidorah, Godzilla, and Rodan are close by and controlled by magnetic waves. So, 105, Glenn is taken to the island to be with Tetsui in their one jail cell. Again, you would think they would kill this guy, but no, they put him in a jail cell together, a soundproof jail cell. Back at the lab, they're working on blocking the aliens' magnetic waves, and we can be smart when we want to be. So they're working on that. 109.30, a long, gushy letter from Nawakawa to Glenn telling him that Tetsui's invention makes a lot of noise that can cause problems with the aliens. So here we go. We have Glenn attacking the Exilian guard. This is where Ahagao comes from, I think. We knew it started in Japan, where the girls go, that crazy stuff. See that all over the internet now. It's weird. Anyway, this is where it started. So Tetsui's invention drives him nuts. The sound waves are just drive him crazy. Kind of like the Slim Whitman's music in that other movie, Mars Attacks. We got to do that one on here, Mars Attacks. If I can find a link to it, we're going to do it. The Exilians at that point notice a discrepancy in their brainwaves and move up their attack. Those dirty, rotten rats. At 1 hour and 14 minutes, Godzilla and Rodan commence their attack, and the military rolls out its very best equipment. Have they discovered the plan? Duh. And by their very best equipment, I mean the best models that Japan can buy. There they are. So Rodan and Godzilla's feet, I should say, there's about 100 foot shots. Godzilla's foot. The guy that directed this film must have had a foot fetish, because Godzilla's foot is everywhere in this movie, stomping on things, stomping on little huts. Rodan's jumping around like a bird. There's Godzilla's foot right there. There's about 100 of those shots in this movie, in this training film. King Ghidorah, who was all the way over in America, somehow gets here like in seconds, and he joins the attack via reused footage from the training film Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. Yeah. This is the first movie they started doing that. They started reusing footage from old movies. They used a lot of footage from Rodan, the original Rodan movie. But he got there fast. Godzilla's tongue does a lot of wagging in this film. His tongue is kind of loose in his mouth and it's wagging all over the place in this film. I found that kind of strange. He is only in this movie for about 5 minutes. This Godzilla movie is the least amount of Godzilla footage in a Godzilla movie. He's only in it for just over 5 minutes. So it's at the bottom of the list. Tetsui and Glenn save the day by broadcasting Tetsui's annoying sound to mess with the aliens' brainwaves. There they go. They're at the radio station. Turn up the volume. Turn up the volume. Turn up the volume. The aliens go down like Jägermeister on a warm summer evening. They're broadcasting those waves, and it's just driving the aliens crazy. They escape into another dimension, and Godzilla and Rodan come back. They gain control of their own minds again, and what do? Of course, they kick Ghidorah's butt. And then for real this time. Again. So the fight is all too short, unfortunately, but King Ghidorah flies away. Look at that face. Look at that bird-like face on Rodan, huh? Yeah, definitely more like a bird in these movies. This is the Rodan that we saw in Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, Monster Zero, and Destroy All Monsters, the 1960s Toho films, training film. All right, so they do a serious whoop up on King Ghidorah. It lasts even less than the whoop ass in the last movie, Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, and they even had Mothra with him on that one. And Rodan even picks up Godzilla and flies him over to Ghidorah to knock him off a cliff. So Ghidorah flies away to fight another day. Now, this film was released in 1965. The following year, Toho and Eiji Tsuburaya, the guy that does the special effects for these movies, came out with Mars Attacks. Oh, hell yeah. They came up with Ultraman in the next year for TV in 1966. So after this, they're just marketing to kids now. They're just marketing to the children, and making a lot of money doing it too, making a lot of Japanese yen, as they say. Which brings us to our Monster Zero marketing. Major Hazzard, do you have those slides ready?
Just a moment, General. I'll be right there.
Okay. Well, while we're waiting for that, as I showed you before, Bandai, there's a company called Bandai that releases 7-inch figures of these guys. And this is the Godzilla from 1965. He's got his mouth wide open. And this is a very, very tough figure to find now. These are going on eBay for about $150 now, believe it or not. This little guy. Yeah. And there's a lot of other Godzillas that are a lot cheaper, so and look a lot better. As I showed you before, this is the Rodan from Bandai, 7-inch figure, and very minimal paint job on him. And this is the Rodan from the 1954 movie. They didn't release another Rodan figure until Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 1992, which was called Fire Rodan. I have that one on, but I won't show it to you today. And then, of course, the original standard King Ghidorah. This is the American version of the Bandai figure. Oh, there we go. See his back. The three-headed monster, a.k.a. Monster Zero. And, of course, they redid him in the legendary Godzilla pictures. And he was referred to as Monster Zero at one point in that movie, too, which was kind of a nod to the old Showa King Ghidorah back in the day. Okay, so what we have here is, can you go back? Make those bigger and make me smaller. Okay, these are cards from card games that are out there. It shows the Godzilla Victory Dance. There's two of them there, two different cards for different games. Magic the Gathering. It's all about that Godzilla Victory Dance. Here's a figure. It's probably a Billiken figure from Japan that shows the Godzilla dance. And there's a VHS tape. Wow, you remember those? Yeah, I used to watch these training films on those a lot. Most definitely. And I showed you the figures, so we don't have to go back to the figure pictures because that's basically what I already showed you. Oh, wait a minute. There is a Rodan picture there that I want you to go back to if you could. There it is, right there. Now, this is the only figure that I know of that they've released of the 1960s Rodan with the bird-like beak. And this is X-Monster. And they are bigger figures. They're much bigger than the 7-inch figures. And very detailed. And again, that's the only one. And those are selling for like $300-400 because they're so rare now to get them. So anyway, so let's see what kind of comments we have for Monster Zero. So to be clear, does Monster Zero contain no sugar or caffeine? I always get confused with those monster drinks. Yeah, I guess so. Not to be confused with the real King Ghidorah, which has all the calories and the sugar and taste much better. Beware of clones. Yeah, how'd you like to go on a date with your girl and find out she's a clone? They say the clones are not as good as the original. That's what I'm told. And they never say that the girls on Planet X are clones. They just say that they all look alike, which is some kind of inbred gene thing, maybe. I don't know. They all look like Kumi Mizuno, so no complaint from me on that. She got 3 growls on today's show. Mutant turkey, yes. That's what Rodan is in the 60s, a mutant turkey. He's not a pterodactyl. Say it with pride. Pterodactyl. MM, you're on fire today. Bring table to the alien meeting. Yeah, we talked about that. Looks like a movie Gomer Pyle would have loved. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Look at that three-headed dragon. Willy Wonka's Oompa Loompas. You know, they have silly outfits, both. 'Tis true. But at least they don't have orange skin and white hair. Wait a minute. Somebody else has orange skin and white hair. Who is that? Anyway, I digress.
I think I know who you were talking about, but that's high level stuff.
Oompa Loompa.
We do know an Oompa Loompa, a real life. It's a real actual person who's an Oompa
Loompa. Well, thank you for telling me I'm doing a fantastic job. I try my best.
You know your monsters. That's right. And Hal knows how to say monster. That's how you spell monster in my neck of the woods, Hal. Yeah, MM
taking notes.
Okay, so my family to be prepared. That's right. I mean, she's a star cadet. I feel like MM is a star cadet. She's going to be an officer. I can already tell. Send her to. She
definitely deserves a high rank.
School. Definitely
high ranking. So yeah, when you're dealing with King Ghidorah, obviously you got to get Godzilla and Rodan on your side to shoo him away. That's important. This also happens in Godzilla versus Gigan, which was a few years later. Gigan was a new kaiju that came in the early 70s with King Ghidorah, and Godzilla and Anguirus, some call him, fought off those two predators, and they flew away. So get your own kaiju. New York Monsters.
New York Monsters will have a coffee talk. We'll call you later. It's perfect.
All right, careful with the coffee talk. That is copyrighted, I believe.
We're going to get a call from a lawyer. We're going to get a call from a lawyer from Sarah Night
Get a call from Mike Myers' lawyer.
Yeah, from Mike Myers. Mike Myers. That's a good one to say, Mike Myers.
Mike Myers. Yeah, we got to do a Halloween picture. With Dr. Loomis in it. One of the earlier ones. So, how do you deal with a guy that's wearing a William Shatner mask who's going around killing everybody in the neighborhood? How do we deal with that? That's a strategy. We got to find that strategy.
That's an actual strategy. I don't know, but I do want to wish everyone a happy Patty's Day, and to come hang out in the next few minutes. We're going to be going live with Drita. She's going to be live, so we want to invite everyone. Happy St. Patty's Day. Happy St. Patrick's
Happy Hamburger Patty's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. That's right.
Happy Krabby Patty Day.
Krabby Patty. I think that's a different day, General.
Come on, give the saint his due now. He drove all the snakes out of Ireland.
That's right. We're very appreciative. We love St. Patrick's Day. He's a bishop. Yeah, he's a bishop. So St. Patrick, that's right. We love the Irish. We love St. Patrick. We're grateful there's no snakes in Ireland. It's perfect. Maybe he could come and do that in America. That would be kind of cool.
I think he's long gone.
There could be a new one. Maybe
if we can find his great grandson or something, or even granddaughter.
I think it could just be someone else on the same mission. I think that's what it'd be. But do you want to summarize for us, General, what we learned today, so that they have something to take with their notes?
Yeah, don't trust aliens.
We don't want to trust aliens. We don't want to do that.
Okay? And they're going to come and try to take our resources. They're going to try to kill us and eat us. One or the other, or both.
And that there's a Japanese director who has a foot fetish for Godzilla.
Right.
That's what we also
That was I had never noticed that until I watched the movie again this week. That there were so many Godzilla foot shots. I was laughing every time. I mean, after like the first 5 or 6, I was like, oh my God. And then I started laughing every time another Godzilla foot shot would come in. And somebody should count that. Maybe I'll count that and
a foot counter, a Godzilla foot counter.
We're not going to be here next week. That's something else we need to say.
Oh, that's right. That's what you got to say.
We're off for a while. We're going to shut down the briefing room for a few weeks, kind of regather our heads together, and we'll be back in probably late April, early May. May comes after April, right?
And between that time, you got to go back and watch all of these season 1s. We're going to post them everywhere. And if you have friends who love monster movies, you have friends who love Godzilla, bring them here. Let's get a lot of views.
We have some good shows. We have Dawn of the Dead. We have Day of the Triffids. Good shows. We have another Godzilla movie, Godzilla versus the Sea Monster, Ebra. Did I show you Ebra?
I don't know.
Did I get that?
Sure.
I'd have to get up from my chair. It's on the top shelf.
You can do
Now,
it.
you know what? I'm going to skip that because I don't want you to see me wearing sweatpants.
I believe it's actually.
I'm wearing black sweatpants right now, and I don't want you to see my button sweatpants. Truth.
Okay,
Truth.
We got to get out of here because we got another show coming on. We got.
Okay,
we
got That's
so
right. We started late. Silly me.
We started late. We've already been here, and I feel like
so
the cadets
we won't
are
be here
ready.
next week, folks. But watch all the original General Howitzer's Big Monster
Please
Briefing Rooms
do,
with Major
yes.
Millie, Hazzard, and myself, and enjoy that in April. And we'll be back either late April or early May, probably early May. And again, Rory Penland, who's a big supporter of this show, It's Casual. He's doing one more show himself before he goes on break, and it's a big show because he's going to have John Biner, the comedian from way back. I mean, this guy was on.
Congratulations.
On all of those, the Johnny Carson show. He was on the Ed Sullivan show. I mean, the guy does incredible impressions. He's the guy he was one of the first guys that was doing impressions. He was an impersonator. And I know that Rory's excited about having him on his show, and that's next Tuesday, the 22nd. And it's time to regroup. So thank you for watching the show tonight. Hope you don't have to deal with a Monster Zero of your own. Have you ever had to deal with a Monster Zero?
No, thank God. I'm so happy I don't have to.
You've never had a boyfriend that treated you bad and then you said, yeah, you're a Monster Zero.
No, but if it happens, I'll be sure to use that terminology. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, if you have a guy that's abusive, just call him a Monster Zero. You're a Monster Zero.
That's right. That's right.
All right. You guys have fun. Take care. We are out.
Bye, everybody.